My 30 male girlfriend, 26 female, of 7 years asked for a break while on a solo trip in Europe.
Girl.
My girlfriend is graduating college and has a travel abroad program required in Italy. I encouraged her to spend more time traveling since she's about to commit to a career for the rest of her life. So she decided she's going to travel alone for a month before the travel program abroad with my support to do so. She's been to Europe twice, once with me and another time with her girlfriends. When we went together in 2019, she had to leave early and I traveled with my brother before traveling solo for a week. Was she totally comfortable with me going to the Greek party islands alone? No. So we agreed I would text her periodically and text her when I got home. I did. Fast forward to the present where she meets up with her girlfriend to go to Ibiza, a party island. Am I totally comfortable? No. Thus again, we agreed to just text periodically and let me know when you get home safely. I don't hear from her for 8 hours. Apparently she locked her phone for 3 hours and couldn't message me when she got home before falling asleep. I was slightly frustrated and asked some follow-up questions about how that happened because it's odd. She got defensive and gave me attitude about having to explain herself to me. I explained I have every right to ask since I'm her boyfriend of 7 years. I dropped the conversation and said we could talk later. She went out again the next night and texted me a short, headed home. Next we speak, she says that we both need a break. Oh. She said I need to work on my confidence and she needs to learn to love herself without depending on my affirmations. I told her I don't want to break, but if she does, then we need to just break up. She said she didn't want to break up, but is standing firm on requiring a break. So I broke up with her. My thought process is that you don't get to simply say, I want a break right now because I'm enjoying life and I'll deal with our relationship when I get back. For context, when I was in Greece alone, she got super jealous and angry regarding a situation. What did I do? I left the club and called her immediately to discuss the situation. Imagine if I had said, I think we both need a break. I'd be regarded as such a bad boyfriend. All to say, I'm pretty hurt. She said the break wasn't to go and hook up with others, but to focus on herself. Now I've given her all the space she needs. I'm feeling somewhat torn between overreacting over her wanting a break, but also standing firm on that I don't think it's fair to do this in this situation. Was I in the wrong? I actually think he's being very mature about this.
I think maybe for her to be so quick to just be like, shut it down right now. Like, we got to shut this down for right now. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there was some thoughts beforehand. It sounds like they have a past of some issues in terms of trust, specifically when traveling. You know, there were already 2 incidences when she was gone away and he was gone away or whatever. So I think the underlying issue is trust. I could kind of see where she maybe is like thinking a little bit irrationally just because she's on the trip and she's like, I don't want to waste my energy right now because I'm really trying to do this for myself, you know, like we talked about. But at the same time, it shouldn't be wasted energy on a relationship of 7 years. So I could see where his mind is.
I think what's throwing me off is that she is almost seeming like she's getting annoyed that he is asking her, text me when you get home. Like, why couldn't you talk to me for 8 hours? Like, blah, 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 blah. I think that if that was genuinely the problem, she would say, babe, I'm fine. I'm going to a party with a bunch of other people and then I'm going home and I'm falling asleep. It's fine, okay? I'm sorry that I didn't text you back. I locked my phone by accident because I entered my passcode wrong too many times when I was drunk and then I passed out and I texted you in the morning. I can't deal with giving constant updates while I'm enjoying my trip. I'm gonna text you when I can and you just have to trust that. And I'm okay. And if I need help, I'll contact you. It's fine. I think that would be, at least it would be my answer.
Kelly, you are on fire today.
Am I?
Yeah. You're so right. No, you are right.
I really think that if that was the problem, the answer wouldn't be, I need space because I need to learn to love myself without your affirmations.
That's why I think there's more to the story than just this.
I think so too.
Yeah.
The problem here is not that you're texting her. I really don't think it is. I think if she's saying that she needs space to learn to love herself, he did the right thing. And he's like, fine, go and love yourself and figure it out. I'm not going to date you while you do that. And he's completely in his right to say that. I think that if he wanted to say, yeah, go and do that and talk to me when you figure it out. Like, there are crazy situations where people are going through shit and they're like, let me have a month to myself and like, you're the love of my life, but like, I'm going through it and I need to just like sit alone in silence for a few weeks and figure out my like whatever. And then they get back together and they're happy. You know, crazy shit happens in life. That's rare. I think that's way more rare than having open and honest communication. But this loving yourself thing, in the context of this exact story, it doesn't seem like the valid reason. It seems like an excuse, and I think he did the right thing.
Yeah, and I get it, because I think distance could really put a big strain on any relationship.
Yeah.
Like, I was dating someone for like over 2 years, and then we had graduated undergrad, and then like we're in different states. And I think that there were underlying feelings of kind of like, not neglect, but I guess neglect in some way for the relationship, you know what I mean? And things like that. And then it would kind of go to those things where like the expectation was to like text when you get home safe, whatever, blah, blah, when it happened. And then like your mind is racing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, why aren't they, you know, like they said that they would, and like they're not holding up their end of the bargain in terms of whatever. And like, I'm nervous for them that they're not getting home safe, you know what I mean? But then also like, oh, I don't know, like, is there something else? Like, I could see why the brain starts, the gears are moving, you know what I mean? Where you're like thinking of all the things, because this is someone that you care about, love, trust, and like they kind of broke a promise that they were going to do that with you, you know? So that's why I think that there's probably underlying things more to the story than just, you know, that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I also think though that he could trust her fully. Like, maybe when he's getting nervous after her not texting her for 8 hours, like, it's possible that his mind isn't, she's cheating on me, she's hooking up with guys, blah, blah, blah. His mind could be like, holy fuck, what if she got murdered? She's in Europe. Like, what if she got drugged and she got kidnapped? Like, his mind could be going anywhere. So it's possible that this is not even a matter of trust. It more is just a matter of like thinking worst case scenario when you're so far away from somebody that you love. So I can get why she would be annoyed.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's not the response that people would have if they were just annoyed that you were texting them too much while they were on vacation.
Yeah. This is also us taking OP's word for exactly what it is.
Very true.
Who knows if it were really just one text at the end of the night, or
Very
if they
true.
were texting like throughout the day, like, hey, hope you're having fun. But like that could be different too. So, you know, let's not get that twisted either.
Yes. That is such a good point.
Yeah. And things like this where we're reading these things that people are writing, we have to take it for what it is.
Exactly.
You know? But there could always be more to the story, that she may be reacting that way, which seems visceral, but it's actually not, because there's more to it than what OP is writing. So I just want to make that known too.
That's such a good point. Okay, so considering what he has given us, I think that he was in the right to break up with her. Breaks in a relationship are so hard, because I feel like a lot of times people, when they're breaking up, even if you know that it's the right decision, breaking up with someone, especially when you've been with them for that long, is extremely hard. And we are complex creatures, so you can know that a breakup is right, but it can still be devastating at the same time. And humans are just, it's so easy for us to lie to ourselves and tell our conscious mind something that makes our anxiety go down and makes us feel comforted in the moment, when in reality, you know the truth. So, for example, the first relationship I ever had, when we broke up, we were like, maybe we should go on a break. A break is a word that I think a lot of people tend to use when they know that they need to be breaking up. But the idea of breaking up forever and losing this person forever is too heavy to grasp in that moment. So then people suggest a break. And then it's way easier to cope with, I'm just losing this person for a small amount of time, than it is to cope with, I'm losing them forever. So I can see why a lot of people would not accept the suggestion of a break.
Yeah, I could too. 100%.
Yeah. I think that a break could work in a situation where if someone's dealing with like extreme mental health problems and they're like, I really just need to spend time with my therapist and my family and not talk to anyone else. And I'm so sorry. I don't expect you to wait for me, but like, I just need to do this. I would love to be with you, but like, I need to handle this thing.
Right.
And then when that thing is actually solved, if they both have the same feelings, like maybe they come back together. Or I don't know. Obviously, there's many things that could elicit a break being the solution, but I do just think that people use that word a lot when they're trying to console themselves and not feel this like overwhelming, oh my God, I'm losing the love of my life. Yeah.
I remember Taylor Swift said, you're losing me. But no, I agree. And I think that there are circumstances like the one that you had just kind of given as an example where it is, because it's like, I'm not being the best person to myself and the person that you deserve. So for that reason, I need to work on myself. And I don't think that I could do that right now. I need to like devote that for me, you know, because it's just not easy breaking up with someone in that way.
Yeah.
And who knows? And even when you are breaking up, like, down the road, you guys might, work on yourselves and grow in other ways and then find your way back to each other. But it is hard when you're like break, because then that's where the lines are crossed, where it's like, we were on a break and I know that you were doing this and like we were supposed to be getting back together, like, and it just seems like you wanted to go and, have sex with the world and this and that. Like I've also seen that part of the break thing. So that's why I don't love breaks either, personally, for that, where it could be kind of taken advantage of or like that.
And like, I know that the idea of a break, like, it also can work. Like, I just used to be really quick to be like, obviously sometimes people almost need to lose what they had before they realize what they actually want. And I used to despise that idea. And I'd be like, if anyone ever like ended it with me or like told me something and then they changed their mind because they're like, oh shit, like this is actually what I want, or like whatever. I used to be like, they should realize what they have when they have it. I also do think that people make mistakes and people get into habits and routines and emotion, and people go through mental health shit. And sometimes, I'm not saying every time, very rare cases, someone actually does need to be like, well, maybe we're just not compatible. And then they break up for 5 days, or they're like, maybe we should just like separate a little bit for like a few days or a week or whatever. And then they're like, oh, wow, wait, okay, yes. Because sometimes I feel like you get so caught up in like conversation and like the heat of like an argument or emotion where you do just need like a short amount of time away from each other, where you're just thinking and maybe you're journaling during that time or like talking to a therapist or something. And then you're like, okay, after the fleeting like temporary emotion of like rage or anger or annoyance or whatever that I was having when I was fighting with this person, I have calmed down and come back to my baseline emotion. And now I'm ready to present to you what I actually want in life. Yeah. And like that happens sometimes. But I just think typically that doesn't happen when one of the partners is on vacay in the Greek islands and in Ibiza and partying all night. Yeah. And it typically doesn't come in a healthy way. It typically wouldn't come from like a blow up, you're so annoying, stop talking to me, I'm living my own life kind of feeling.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I do think that it could be, I think it's healthy to, in those moments, be like, listen, like, I don't know what I'm feeling right now. Yeah. So like, I gotta process this. So like, you just gotta give me a little bit of time. Like, I think that's a totally different situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I think that's so healthy, because then you're not acting irrationally and you're not leading with emotion and things like that. You're respecting your own emotions to be like, I need to walk away and really process this and kind of weed out how I am feeling about it, and then let's come back and talk about it. You know what I mean? Because if not, then you're going to say things that you don't mean and things like that because your mind isn't clear and you haven't thought it all out yet.
Yeah. So I think so too.
But again, not in the islands of Greece.
Yeah, that just seems a little too convenient for me.
Yeah, I mean, girlfriend was real quick to be like,
I know, after 2 texts.
Yeah, in 7 years.
Please.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know about that.
I'm on your side, OP. I think you did the right thing.
Yeah, I think you did too.